All right, here we go. We are live right now on the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making the program a part of your day. Earlier today, it was a Victory Friday, and we dissected the Niners' win last night over the New York Giants. And breaking news coming in just moments ago that San Francisco is going to have their head coach and general manager tandem around for a little while, as the Niners have signed Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch to contract extensions. We're not sure how long exactly these contract extensions are going to be, but they are multi-year deals. That's what the 49ers are saying here. They sent out this tweet here on Friday afternoon that the 49ers announcing that the team has signed general manager John Lynch, head coach Kyle Shanahan to multi-year contract extensions. And we're going to break this down here on the show today. Niners statement. Here it is. The San Francisco 49ers announced that the team has signed general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan to those multi-year contract extensions. Of course, with this, there is plenty to talk about: news, opinions. We'll look at what they've done since they entered the fray for this organization back in 2017. But I do want to pose this poll question for everybody out there. Will the Niners win a Super Bowl under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch? Give me a W for win, L for lose. Let me know down in the chat. We'll start to give you some more shout-outs here. The average Niner fan typing dub, Juan, dub, words of wisdom, saying no, he doesn't believe in this nucleus. The average Niner fan, yes. Lavelle Forrest, Ernesto think that a Super Bowl's coming under Shanahan and Lynch. Ken Dowslin, Gabe, Clyde, Sun City, I'll go in dub. Brother man, hi Chase. Our Niners started out sloppy, but they were able to fix it after halftime, and Brockstar admitted that he messed up on some of his passes to his receivers. Yes, but he still was dropping dimes to his receivers as well. Look, this is why he subscribed to the show. News comes out that Shanahan and Lynch are signing new contract extensions, and we're going live here on the show. Yesterday, an awesome watch party live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. More than 100,000 people joined us. And now, after picking up some more subscribers, we're less than 10,000 people away from 100K, if we want to fix that. Less than 10,000 people away from 100,000 subscribers so that we could get that silver plaque from YouTube. And what you get when you subscribe to the program: content, shows, updates on the Niners every single day. So we're going to really break this down on a variety of fronts on the San Francisco 49ers Report today. Of course, I have a lot of thoughts about what this means for San Francisco here, because I think that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan do serve as one of the best head coach general manager combinations in the National Football League here. And you look at what they've been able to do year by year record. 2017, first year of this regime, and it was going to be a rebuilding process. And anybody who thought this was not going to be a rebuilding process, I just don't know what you were thinking here, because the organization was in a bad spot after the Jim Tom Sula and Chip Kelly regimes, and they had to tear it down and then build it back up. So it took 2 years to do that. 6-10, 4-12. If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't suffer that knee injury in 2018, do they compete a little bit sooner? Maybe. But then in 2019, he stays healthy. Niners, great year. 13-3, lost in the Super Bowl. 2020, injury depleted, only went 6-10. And that was a bad season for sure for both Lynch and Shanahan. In 2021, they make it to the NFC Championship game after starting 3-5. Last year, they started 3-4, and then they rattled off all those consecutive wins to finish 13-4. Once again, make it back to the NFC Championship game. And here in 2023, through 3 games, the Niners, to me, look like the best overall team in football. Overall record for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, 52-46. And this year, it really looks to be Super Bowl or bust. We do want to hear from everybody all throughout the afternoon. So if you want to be a part of the show, get those questions in. Hashtag 49ers, better yet, Super Chat, so that we can chop it up here with the faithful. Words of wisdom. Chase, this signing cements he won't. If they had a prove-it season, maybe. All right, well, it's good to see you once again. Here's our Super Chat menu if any of you want to support the program. I know last night a lot of that happened for sure, but $5 will give you a Niner mug cheers. $10 or more, or for first-time Super Chatters, you get your initials on the Niner helmet here, just filled up. All of the gold stickers that came in last night. $20, I'll run in place for 20 seconds. $50, I have a hangover drink that I can take down, and you can help me feel better. $100 or more, you enter the Gold Mine Hall of Fame. So we have 91 people watching right now. I know a lot of people are busy on this Friday, but we're ready to talk some Niners here. If you're ready for the show to start, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Who's ready to talk some Niners? Who's ready to break this down? Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and we'll get started here in just a few moments. 102 people watching live. More likes that we get, the more people who will come and hang out with us. And there's obviously a lot to talk about with both Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. But beyond that, some Niners injury news to get to and some analysis further from that win on Thursday Night Football. Are you going to say something? First half. Yeah, not first five. Yeah. All good. All good. All right, cool. Let's talk about it. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan signing contract extensions with San Francisco. What does it mean for this organization moving forward? We're going to talk about it right now here on the show. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. We have some breaking news to get to here on this Friday afternoon as the Niners have announced that head coach Kyle Shanahan, general manager John Lynch have agreed to multi-year contract extensions. This came from the organization's Twitter page. They tweeted this out about 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock for those of you watching on the West Coast. And the Niners today announced that the team has signed general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan to multi-year contract extensions. So we're not sure what the money is. Oftentimes, that's not really public information. We're also not really sure how many years are being tacked on to their respective deals because they were under contract for the next couple of seasons. I believe through 2025 is that number. More from the Niners here. San Francisco 49ers announced that the team has signed general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan to a multi-year contract extension. The duo joined the Niners in February of 2017 and have since led the organization to the postseason 3 times, claimed 2 NFC West Division championships in 2019 and this past year, reached 3 NFC Championship games in 2019, 2021, and 2022. That included a trip to the Super Bowl back in 2019. Under their leadership, the Niners have posted a regular season record of 55-46 over the past 7 seasons, and they have gone 6-3 in the playoffs. Since 2019, San Francisco's 45 wins are tied for the 4th most in the NFL and are the 2nd most in the NFC. Now, obviously, with this, there's plenty to discuss, comb over, dissect, but this is why you subscribe to the show. Because when breaking news happens, whenever there's a significant development with this football team, we cover it better than anybody else right here on YouTube. We're less than 10,000 people away from getting that silver plaque from YouTube. Once we get to 100,000 subscribers, you see the current count, and when you subscribe, what do you get? Niners content every single day. I know a lot of people out there, including my boy Words of Wisdom, loyal viewer of the program, they don't really like the news of Shanahan and Lynch signing this contract extension. I don't care what you say. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are one of the best head coach, general manager duos in the National Football League from a team-building, strategical standpoint, to wins and losses, to stacking talent, to being creative with the cap, where they're paying premium players all this money, yet number 1 in cap space in the NFL with $41+ million, and they've mastered the compensatory pick formula, which is really important for this team to get some draft assets. And speaking of the draft, contrary to belief, a lot of people think that the Niners have had a bunch of misses. Have they had some? Yes. Do all organizations have draft draft misses? Yes. What they've also done is hit on a lot of players throughout the NFL draft. You look at some of the notable draftees since 2017, George Kittle, 2017 in the 5th round. Excellent value there for one of the best tight ends of all time. DJ Jones in the 6th round. He's been critical, or was critical at least, to the Niners' success. You got great value there, and then he was able to get that big contract with the Denver Broncos. Fred Warner is the best linebacker that I've ever seen. You got him in the 3rd round. In 2019, 1st and 2nd round, you come away with Nick Bosa, the defending Defensive Player of the Year, and Deebo Samuel, who in 2021 was a first-team All-Pro. You get one of the best off-ball linebackers in the 5th round that year in Dre Greenlaw. The jury is out on Javon Kinlaw, but this year he has been excellent. More quarterback pressures in 3 games than he had in the previous 2 seasons combined. Brandon Aiyuk is a Pro Bowl level player. He's a stud. Colton McKivitz right now, despite him struggling, is your starting right tackle. You got him in the 5th round. Jauan Jennings has been a revelation in the 7th. And then you look at the last couple of years here. Aaron Banks, starting left guard. He's been great. Deommodore Lenoir, starting outside corner, 5th round. Talanoa Hufanga, year 2, was an All-Pro. Elijah Mitchell, very good backup running back. Drake Jackson, I think, can be a good player. 3 sacks week 1. Spencer Burford, your starting right guard. Samuel Womack, injured right now, but a solid player. You got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, that could go down as one of the best draft picks in the history of this organization if he continues his ascent. You got him in the 7th round, obviously. And then the draft picks this year. I like Jair Brown as a player. You didn't draft until the 3rd. You got Jake Moody, who so far has been perfect on his field goals and PATs. D. Winters, Ronnie Bell, Jalen Graham, all made the 53-man roster as 6th and 7th round picks, respectively. Every team across the NFL has draft misses, but that's a pretty damn good track record of stockpiling assets in the draft and having cost-controlled players on your team. And when you watch the Niners this year, when you watch them last year, when they went and embarked on that 12-game winning streak, and that momentum has seemed to carry over into this year, right now they look like the most complete team in the National Football League. A big part of that, all of the future Hall of Famers, all pros and Pro Bowlers that they have on the roster, that the team is responsible for picking up and keeping and maintaining, but also you have an elite head coach and an elite general manager, and those types of individuals, talented like that, with the eye for talent that they have in the game of football, don't grow on trees. Under Shanahan and Lynch, past 4 years, this is really where they've come into their own, and they were able to go through those rebuilding years, the first couple, and then a bad 2020. But over the past 4 seasons, Niners under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, 45 regular season wins. That's tied for 4th most in the NFL, and 6 playoff games, 2nd in the NFL. Today's poll question is this, though, as we segue to it. Will the Niners win a Super Bowl under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch? Give me a W for yes, they're going to win it. L for they never will be on that quest for 6. More to get to on the Shanahan and Lynch front. First, though, today's show, sponsored by AG1. I literally start every single day with AG1. You should as well. The benefits of daily use: promotes gut health, supports immunity, boosts your focus and your energy. And if you use that link at the bottom of your screen, also available for you in the description of this video, drinkag1.com/chatsports. You get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D. What do you get with AG1 as well? 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. If you're looking for a comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition option, you just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 into water. You drink it first thing each day, and you can check off all of the boxes for all of the nutritional needs that you're going to need throughout the day. I also like taking AG1 and drinking it after some of my workouts because I'm able to replace what I lose. I'm very picky about what I put into my body. The ingredients here, very, very clean. So one more time, 5 free travel packs, a year's supply of vitamin D at drinkag1.com/chatsports. Just use that link, click on it, and I'm telling you, you can see it for yourself. To continue this conversation here, let's talk about how many games the Niners have won and the overall path that they have been on here. In 2017, 6-10, 2018, 4-12. You knew that after the disastrous tenures of Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula, even Mike Singletary back in the day, who was an absolute fraud, those skeletons kind of still in your closet. And with how the Harbaugh era ended, you needed to tear everything down and build it back up. So it takes a couple of years to do that. And look, they tried to win at the end of 2017. They acquired Jimmy Garoppolo. After 5 games, they made him the highest paid quarterback in the history of the league at that point. He tears his ACL in 2018. What can you do? That was his fault, right? He took that hit, should have gone out of bounds. He didn't. You go in 4-12. But then when you're at full strength, 2019, you go 13-3, you make it to the Super Bowl. We know what happened in the fourth quarter. What could have been if Jimmy Garoppolo hit Emmanuel Sanders and if the Niners, yes, coached by Kyle Shanahan, did not squander that lead. In 2020, ravaged by injuries. They go 6-10, highly disappointing. But you look at what they've done 3 of the last 4 years. 2019, make it to a Super Bowl. 2021, make it to the Final Four. Last year, make it to the Final Four once again. And what would have happened if Brock Purdy's elbow didn't get bent in a crazy direction and you were down to Christian McCaffrey throwing passes in an NFC Championship game? This year, they're 3-0. They look like the most complete team in football to me. And that overall record, not too shabby at all. You know where you also make your money? In the NFL playoffs. And Kyle Shanahan has a good track record in the playoffs. What he did in 2019, in 2021, you go on the road in Dallas, you beat the Cowboys. Second round, you go on the road and you take down the number 1 seeded Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. And then last year, dismantle the Seahawks. You beat a really, really good Cowboys team. And then you get shot by the Philadelphia Eagles. And Brock Purdy's injury obviously had a big thing to do with that. But 6-3 as a head coach in the playoffs, that's pretty damn good. And why Kyle Shanahan is elite in my estimation, it's pretty simple to me. It's one of the best play callers and play designers in the National Football League. And there is a reason why Kyle Shanahan's scheme is used literally all across the NFL. And if other teams aren't implementing his scheme, they are using wrinkles and elements of it. His ability to hire great coordinators is also something that great coaches in this league do. He's produced Robert Saleh. He's produced D'Amico Ryans. He's produced Mike McDaniel. Matt LaFleur uses a lot of his offensive elements. So that's really important for a coach to do because the coach is in charge of the coaching staff and his ability to maintain a guy like Chris Kocurek and have Bobby Turner. Chris Forster's done a great job at this offensive line. These things are very important for your organizational structure. Further on, he's maximized quarterbacks throughout his career. Now, a lot of people want to say he gets quarterbacks injured. Like he's not intentionally trying to injure his quarterbacks. Come on now. What you want from a head coach, does the system, does the scheme, do the play designs lead to better play and maximize play from the quarterback position? He did it with Matt Schaub in Houston. He did it with Kirk Cousins in Washington. Matt Ryan won an MVP in Atlanta. And with San Francisco, C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy playing their best football under Shanahan. I also think that this is important too, that Shanahan has said that, yes, he's an offensive mind and the de facto offensive coordinator and head coach because he calls the plays. But with Kyle Shanahan, he values the defensive side of the football, and the Niners invest there. And the Niners can win in a variety of ways. You want to win in a shootout? Right now, ever since the Christian McCaffrey trade, they're averaging 30-plus points per game. You want to win in a low-scoring affair? They have the physical defense and run game to do that as well. And why I like that, you can win in September, October, November, December, January, and February, hopefully, with that playing style. Of course, with Kyle Shanahan, you have to have this conversation. Some of the choke jobs have not been pretty. With Atlanta in the Super Bowl against the Patriots up 28-3. Got to run the football. And then you're up 2 scores against the Chiefs in 2019. Finish the game out. In the 2021 NFC Championship game, you're up 17-7 against the Rams when your fan base took over SoFi Stadium. Got to win that game because if you do, they match up well with the Bengals team that they beat on the road earlier that year in overtime with the Brandon Aiyuk dance along the sideline. What this regime has also done And you have to respect this as a fan. And you have to be a fan of this as a fan because it makes your life that much more entertaining. San Francisco has not been afraid to pay big-time dollars to big-time players. And all of these players here, homegrown talents. You draft George Kittle, and you make him the highest-paid tight end in the history of the NFL at that time. Fred Warner, highest-paid off-ball linebacker when he landed his deal in 2021. Deebo Samuel, all-pro, top 10 highest-paid wide receiver in the game. Nick Bosa, highest-paid non-quarterback in the history of football. And next year, won't surprise me at all if they ink a contract for Brandon Aiyuk, but there are other extensions down the road that the Niners right now are monitoring. And that's why they had that $41+ million in cap space, and that's why if they roll it over, you could see Aiyuk get extended, you could see Talanoa Hufanga get a contract extension, and Brock Purdy has 2 years left on his rookie deal. He continues to play like this and sling the rock all over the yard. You're going to have to pay him as well. With this duo of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, the fan base knows this, that the organization and ownership are all in investing and trying to field a winning team every single year. You know that John Lynch and the front office are going to be aggressive in stockpiling premium players and collecting assets to allow this team to compete in the Super Bowl window. And with an elite head coach like Kyle Shanahan, you always have a chance because with a coach like that, you can win any big game. The last thought here, what does this mean for Adam Peters? He elected to not take the Texans job last year. He's been a finalist for a couple of other general manager openings across the NFL. He came back to San Francisco, and the thought kind of was, a lot of broadcast networks are offering John Lynch a bag. He turned it down, but at some point, was he going to go back to the TV booth, a much more cushy and less stressful job? Now, though, with this contract extension, he seems to be all in. What does it mean for Adam Peters, who's been a huge member of that front office?